to the Tigers lineup. And remember, it was at this ground in this game last year where he had 7 bounces through the middle and won Channel 7's Goal of the Year. He also took Mark of the Year.
Oh, who'll ever forget that goal? That was a sensational goal from the half-back line, and good to see him back in the side. And there's Warwick Kappa going down to the goal score. He's got the socks down at the moment and the white boots. I don't know about the white boots. He's the only one in the team in white boots. What do you think, Bernie?
Well, I'm against them totally, Pete. I'd rather see the team all fitted out in the same colour. I think it's only bringing attention to yourself. But Warwick had a reprieve last week, of course, with Greg Williams, a late withdrawal from the side. And he's actually kicked 36 for the season, 36 goals, to be equal leading goal kicker with Jason Love.
There he is, the Swans champ. My opinion, the most valuable player in the competition. And Craig Lambert there on screen, what a great year he's had.
Looks like Lambert's lining up on Williams, Pete, so that should be a terrific tussle, that one.
Umpires in charge, Peter Cameron and Trevor Garrett. And Trevor Garrett gets us underway in what should be a very entertaining game at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Carroll, number 7, playing his 200, the Swan skipper. He's going to get a free kick, advantage to Murphy. High ball, holds up a bit to centre half forward. Big pack gathers. Bannock just gets the kick clear. Giving chase is Aythorne. Round the corner off his left. Love! Oh, could be 50. It's 50.
Stupid play, wasn't it?
Yes, it has to be 50. That's a good decision. There's no way that he was going to stop Jason Love taking that mark. Very late with the tackle. The umpire spot on, and rather a foolish 50-metre penalty being applied there. And a free kick being awarded, or the 50-metre penalty against Tony Free, who is a very physical player, Pete. But there's no advantage in being physical in that sort of situation where the result is a certain goal to the Sydney Swans. Jason Love coming in for his 37th for the season.
The Swans score first. A goal to nothing.
And he was hit quite hard there, Jason Love, by Tony Free. And the Swans forward line, I think, looks a lot better with Jason Love as we look at this in replay again. And there's a kick coming from Mark Aythorne. The mark taken, and clearly a very late tackle there from Tony Free.
Yes, good umpiring decision that by Peter Cameron. No hesitation. Jason Love is a danger player on their forward line. He's kicked some miraculous goals at times. So a very good start to the Swans. A goal in the first minute of play. We're back in the centre. Here's Craig Lambert. A hand pass to Waitman. We'll see a bit of them during the day, I would imagine. The kick to half-forward Higgins couldn't take it. Here's Paul Kelly, one of the big improvers in the competition. Here's Williams taking the mark. He'll want to get on with it. No, he elects to have a kick. The short one is on. The lead was intended for Love, but Tony Free redeems himself and takes a mark over the back. He transfers play, and a good mark has been taken by Brendan Bauer at half-back. Now Bauer, he gets himself into a bit of trouble. Over to Goodwin. Back to Bauer. Bauer will go outside with a hand pass. He's found Craig Lambert. He knows how to get a kick. Lambert to the half-forward line. Craig Smith bundled out of the way. Here's Bays. Oh, taken away brilliantly by Waitman. The short pass is on, but a good mark taken in defence by Kelly for the Swans.
And here's Greg Williams, about 25 metres in the clear near the centre of the ground. How can that happen? Williams' pass is sensational, and Love marks in front of Free again.
Well, Craig Lambert, the player that is going with Greg Williams, I think they have decided not to go all-out defence because Lambert, a very attacking player himself, is actually leading the averages with the handballs, Craig Lambert, and averaging 27 disposals a game.
Kappa the only chance. Not a great kick by Love. It comes off hands to Cloak, who goes around the boundary line but doesn't find touch. They've lost it. Now it comes to Bauer, but a poor kick by him is taken by Aythorne. He centres the ball to Carroll. He could kick a goal from 50 metres. Dennis Carroll, his 200th game, a raking kick but offline. Through for a behind.
Dennis Carroll, a magnificent career. He's had one of the originals to come up from the South Melbourne team to play up here with the Sydney Swans, and he has been a fantastic player and a great example to all the other players. Dennis Carroll, as Drew said, his 200th game. There's Lambert having punched away. Mitchell, first of his kicks. Oh, Doolan was there, got unloaded. Players charge in after it. Here's Tony Free, gets in a hand pass to Waitman, who's in everything early, goes inside. Matthew Knights Craig Smith has been in terrific form in recent weeks. Smith to centre wing. Oh, good mark. Tunbridge plays on. Higgins wanted the handball. Now he kicks it to the half-forward line. Jim West in front of the pack. Can't take the mark. Here's Kappa. Kappa swings onto the left foot, brings it back in front of goal. Can Knights get back there? No! Oh, great goal by Kappa.
It's Spoke in the middle, but doesn't get the ball clear. Here's Mitchell, number 10 for the Swans. Umpires will put the whistle away for the moment. Little kick from Underwood. Aythorne, number 23, giving chase out to centre wing, and just gets there inside the line. Formerly of Footscray. Aythorne's kick up towards half forward. And a fine mark taken in front of the pack by Goodwin. Andy Goodwin going back to Waitman, who's been prominent early. His pass to centre wing finds Knights. Kick by Knights to Bauer, and Bauer marks in between wing and half forward. The kick up towards the 50-metre line. A climb and a mark taken by Scott. Alistair Scott. And he's come in short. Kelly gets the hand pass back to Wright. And the Swans working the ball out of defence. Cordy.
Can't hear it.
Oh, Higgins copped it high. Comes back to Cordy. Under pressure here, the Swans. Across the face of goal. Taken by Toohey. Toohey's kick is good. And the mark to Mackenzie. Pops the handball over the top. Lewis is kicked to half forward. A little bit astray. And the mark taken back in defence by Markov, who was a late inclusion in the side and started in the 18.
Goodwin to centre wing. This is Des Ryan. Ryan to the half forward line. He's looking for Powell. Powell's caught. Breaks the tackle. Brendan Gale gets in a hand pass. Ooh, players go to the line. It's tapped back. The Swans in hard after it. Here's Barry Mitchell. To Toohey. Toohey to the half forward line. David Cloak sets himself on. He's got a huge bandage on his right arm. Cloak on the left foot. A good kick. But his opposite ruckman, or Tunbridge, foolishly went to play on. Should have been a free kick to Ryan for around the neck. Play on. Greg Williams receives from Kelly. Williams, cleverly done. And he's been pinged for running too far.
Yeah, fair enough, Peter Cameron. He did go too far there, Pete. And Bannick to take the free kick.
And Bannick, very promising young player. Bannick to the half forward line. Ball hits the deck. Higgins races in after it, rebounds. No, it's still in play. Lambert, sweeping hand pass. This is Chris Naish, beaten to it by Carroll, who had great determination. Carroll to centre wing. Doolan was grabbed. Matthew Knights playing for the free kick. Mackenzie gets it to Williams. Williams a quick kick. Here's Bannick, a cool customer. Anthony Bannick to the half forward line. Des Ryan underneath it. Racing back after it, Stephen Wright. He's got backup support from Cordy. Good play by Cordy, but he shoves it straight to Naish. The kick out of defence was by Lewis. Here's Greg Williams again. Cleverly dummies the hand pass onto the left foot. Kappa at the back. And was it a push out? Was it a push out? Yeah. Umpire says it was. So it'll be a free kick in that last line of defence to Jeff Hogg.
Playing at full back today, Jeff Hogg. Goodwin named there, but Jeff Hogg playing at full back, and Alistair Scott playing at full forward for Richmond.
Here's Goodwin, named at full back, up the centre of the ground. He tried to play on and was caught holding the ball in the tackle. Aythorne wants to go on with it, but it's coming back to the tackler, and it's quickly taken by Kelly. Short pass, Carroll. Tried for a big one, it came off the side of the boot. Almost a Love, play on. Crumbs to Michael Pickering. High ball to the centre of the ground. Turner. Through his legs, but Bayes is there. Turner again off the left boot. A lucky hack. Up the ground it went. That was Powell getting the hand pass further afield. Socket forward, comes to Wright. The umpire was going to pay a free. Advantage to Stevie Wright. To centre wing. Doolan climbs, can't mark. Outnumbered 2-1. Just can't get past Bannick's tackle. Mitchell back to Doolan. Great play, but a poor kick by Doolan will hurry out of bounds about 65 metres from goal.
Half forward for the Swans. And there's Andrew Underwood in trouble with an ankle injury. That's bad news, that, so early in the game to Richmond. Waitman gets in a quick hand pass. Doolan, cleverly done to Mitchell. Danger coming up here for Richmond, but an ordinary kick actually goes straight to John Markov, the former Collingwood defender. Markov, the late inclusion in the side, place of Lees. This is Bauer. They've created the loose man. Out wide is Craig Smith, hotly pressing. Oh, that was round the neck. And Peter Cameron right on the scene. Craig Smith will take this free kick. Smith to the half-forward line. Thumped away from the Richmond forwards. Here's Matthew Knights. Oh, he was grabbed. Should be a free kick. And again, Peter Cameron right on the scene. And it was a free kick.
Yes, Pete,
to
no
Matty
doubt.
Knights.
He's averaged 24 disposals also. Matty Knights, he's had a terrific season.
Knights from 50 metres. Up in front of goal. It's thumped away by that strong Swans defence. Here's Barry Mitchell. Taps it away. Gale. Good play by Gale. And did he give away the free kick? No. Here's Chris Nash on the left foot. Straightens up and slams it through for a goal.
Back in the centre, and the Swans 2-1 to Richmond, 1 goal. Tap forward for the Swans. Here's Smith. Gets it to Gale. Comes off to Bauer. Now a chance for Lambert. 50 metres out. A long kick, but offline. And through for a behind. Well, Craig Lambert in the centre on Greg Williams. But they played pretty wide of each other so far. Now Lambert goes back to pick up the Swans champ. Tui kicks in. Good lead from Bays. And a fine mark at left half back. Punched to the ground for his trouble.
Under a lot of pressure there too. A good mark taken there by Mark Bays.
Players getting free. Here's Tunbridge. A great half volley for a big man. Brad Tunbridge up towards centre half forward. Capper from behind, short of the contest. Love beats free to it. His kick, he couldn't hook it back far enough. Out of bounds on the bounce, a throw in.
Well, when he picked it up to Bernie, I thought, oh, here goes. Might be another one of those miraculous goals he kicks.
Well, we saw him kick a couple of amazing goals against Hawthorn here a couple of weeks ago. That one goal, certainly a contender for the goal of the year.
There's Cloak getting it to Lambert. Or Love. A quick kick to the full forward line, but the mark has been taken by Hogg. That'll be a good duel. Hogg, highly regarded as a backman. Or Williams comes over the top to punch it away. But getting back to Hogg, Bernie, he's very highly regarded by Richmond as a backman.
Well, he's been leading goal kicker for Richmond in 88 and 89, and he's kicked 48 for the season so far, Pete.
Well, it's a free kick in that ruck duel. It'll go to Cloak. And guess who was given by Bernie? Peter Cameron. And will I mention that he's the brother-in-law of David Cloak or not?
Yeah,
bit of favouritism.
Well, David Cloak to the half-back line, and the ball forced over the line.
I wonder how many times a bloke who has kicked 10 goals in a game has found himself at full-back in most games in the same season.
Yeah, it's amazing. But
do you think that's a waste, Pete, actually doing that?
Well,
a player who can kick 48 goals.
Well, I'm a big rap for him as a forward. Here's Chris Nash. Nash to the half-forward line. The Swans players get back. Here's a chance for the youngster, Alistair Scott. Eventually the Tigers go forward, but the mark is taken by Stephen Wright. Now Wright got a loose player out wide. Now who will it bounce from? Kelly against Powell, and Powell wins out onto Smith. Craig Smith gets the kick to the pocket, but the mark has been taken by Stephen Wright. Now he's another one of those with Dennis Carroll, one of the original Swans, to come up here to Sydney. He's been a great player also. Now Barry Mitchell can run. One bounce. Will he go again? He dodges. Bounces. Second bounce. Will he go again? Oh, he ran a long way. Gets in a hand pass to Love. He should have kicked that. Pushed on by Love. Taken by Nash. And that was a wasted opportunity.
Well, it was, Pete. He was trying to set something up. There was probably nothing further up the field for Mitchell. Had a fantastic game last week against Adelaide. 46 possessions. The handball was just behind Love. That was the only problem.
And yet that's when a forward dreams of a player coming down like that. Here's Kappa versus Hogg. Punched away by Hogg and through for a behind. But when a player comes down the ground like that with Mitchell, that's when a forward should really be leading straight up the ground.
I can also mess a forward up there, Pete, if he has too many bounces.
The kick by Hogg into the centre square. Ryan goes up. He's outnumbered, couldn't take the mark. Came through and delivered a hard one. Knights will take the free kick. Advantage to Lambert. Now it's coming back to Knights.
Good umpiring by Peter Cameron, because when that ball went loose, some umpires would have paid advantage, and yet the player could have been caught with the ball. So it really can sometimes work to your disadvantage.
So Matthew Knights just behind the centre circle, goes short to Nash. Nash can go a bit longer. Turner. Now the mark by Powell. And Powell has it just inside the 50.
Poor guarding of Naish there, because he's a danger player for Sydney. He's kicked 32 goals already for the season, so he should be closely guarded by the Sydney defenders, and yet they let him go. And here's a chance for a goal to the Tigers from Tim Powell.
A fluky sort of a breeze at the moment. You'd say it was behind Powell, but other times it would have been into him or across him. Powell from 45 metres. Not a bad-looking kick. Got the distance easily, but missed to the left.
In the reserves, Drew, they were from that exact position. It's a straight kick. It wasn't wavering at all, and on that occasion Tim Powell hooked it. But how'd you like to play every week on this fella, Bernard Toohey? A nightmare. He brings it to the centre of the ground. A pack of players fly for it. It's thumped the ground. Dennis Carroll went in after it. There's Lambert. Gets it to Gale. Gale to the half-forward line. Matthew Knights was just over his head. Good play by Big Tunbridge. Gee, is he having a real go early in this game. Stephen Wright to centre wing. Again, Doolan had 2 to beat, and he took the mark. This is Ben Doolan. He's got a running player in Murphy. Murphy, can he chip in? No. Oh, good play. That was by Bannock to chip in front of him. Smith to Knights. Knights is looking for a hand pass. Both sides with terrific small players. Looking forward to this game. It's going to be a ripper. To the half-forward line, Gale at the back. Fisted away from him. Here's Greg Williams. Lewis. Now Kelly. Kelly to the half-forward line. Good lead by Jim West.
Yeah, I'm glad to see this bloke back in the side, Peter. He was a leading goal kicker last year with 34 goals, and this is only his 7th game for the season.
Bad kick over the head of Love. It's tapped towards Kappa. Kappa tried to keep it in, but Hogg takes it over the line.
Well, it's a low-scoring game at the moment. 2-2 Sydney, 1 goal to Richmond.
And Bernie Quinlan is president of the Jim West fan club.
I like him. He really attacks that ball when it's in the air. The way he goes for the marks, he never flinches.
Cloak to Hogg and back to Smith. And Smith off to Free. Now a long hand pass up to Bannock at centre half-back. Anthony Bannock half-back to half-forward. Gale almost. Taps it aside, Gale. Well played. And running onto this and playing it pretty well was Des Ryan. Hooked up for the Swans. Lambert for Richmond. He's got a bit of open space. A 30-metre hand pass. Terrific play to Powell. Powell bangs and misses. Well, Tim Powell's had 2 misses already.
A bad miss that one too, Drew. Terrific play by Lambert. Craig Lambert, who's had a magnificent season again, leading the handballs, averaging 15 per match. And that was a 30-metre hand pass. Really should have set up that goal to Tim Powell.
Yeah, well, Tim Powell shouldn't have missed that. He was one of the many full forwards at Assumption College, Kilmore. That kicked over 100 goals. He's normally a great kick. There's Bernard Toohey. Williams marks at half-back. Over to Kelly, who's having a very good first quarter. 2 bounces. Will he go again? No. He kicks it to the half-foot line. Jim West. Oh, bumped out of it. It could have been a free kick to West then. Craig Smith to the half-foot line. Cordy sets himself for the mark. Good attempt. Williams in after it. Dives on top of it. And umpire Trevor Garrett will come in and bounce. Almost at half-forward for Richmond.
Under 10 minutes to go to quarter time. Good body work used there, but Williams comes up with the ball to Carroll. And now to Higgins. Long kick to half forward. Sun in the player's eyes down there, but Markov did it well. Took the mark. Actually, if he'd been over about 5 metres to the left, he'd have been in the shade here of the light stand. Right from sunlight into shade. Markov, high ball to centre wing. Goodwin climbs. Waitman at the front of the pack. Off to Smith. Good hand pass by Smith. The Tigers running well. Naish. Short pass is good. And the mark taken by Gale. Now the breeze just about right at his back from here. Peter McKenna knows a bit about kicking the ball in the breeze. And okay, straight kick for goal, but he'll need to kick it 50 metres.
Be interesting. That's how it was in the seconds. Let's see if it does go on a straight course.
This to give the Tigers the lead by a point. Well, it gets away to the right and was punched through for a rush behind.
Well, there's a one-eyed little group behind the goals down there. They're here in rain, hail or shine. There they are. They follow the Swans and they're really keen. Really good Swans people up here in Sydney. Dale Lewis. Oh, kicks straight into the man coming towards him. Lewis. Tunbridge. Hand pass comes to Scott. Scott hooks it and puts it out. In fact, it's a behind. Just snuck in from behind. It's a young player. I saw him kick 10 goals in the reserve whatnot. The people from a country practice. As we see the ball kicked in by Tui to the half-back line. This is Turner, dispossessed. Bays, a clever little chip along the ground. Leon Higgins, oh, ducks and weaves. Good play, Higgins. To the pocket, Jim West has marked. And Bernie Quinlan has got a look of glee on his face.
I like him. He can certainly get the ball, Jim West, on that forward line.
Well, here's Higgins, the backman. From 35 metres, Leon Higgins fires in a goal. Yes.
Well, it can be a cruel game. Tigers have done all the attacking and kicked 4 behinds. Swans went forward once and kicked a goal. And they lead 20-11 at the moment. Tunbridge, a little hand pass back. Bays dropped it in Smith's tackle. Comes to Aythorne. He's kicked to centre half forward. Free. Goodwin and Waitman in support. Waitman's kick out to the outer wing. Bauer on the bounce. He's got 30 metres to spare. Brendan Bauer lines it up and goes very long. Gale. Slight nudge, but he gets away with it and marks inside the 50.
Yeah, fair enough. Just better positioning of the body there, Pete, I thought.
Yeah, I agree, Bernie.
Tui was going to be in trouble all along. He just held his position and then at the last moment went back and took that mark.
The non-scoring side of the ground, the breeze across him from here. Well, he missed from 50 on this side of the ground. See what he can do from that side. And again, it gets away to the right and brings up a behind. So they've missed some chances. Gale's 2 behinds and Powell also 2 behinds. One of them certainly should have been a goal. And the Tigers wasteful 1-6.
That's the guy that they really want for the future, Brendan Gale. They really want him to develop into a terrific key position player because that's what they lack. Richmond. Now here's Neil Cordy. Mitchell. Kelly. Back to Mitchell. Harry Mitchell. Tui, he's right down at half forward. Bernard Tui kicks to the pocket. This could be out in the full. Now, the boundary up by 100 metres, well, let's say 70 behind. Would have had no idea whether that was out on the full or not from there.
It would have been a tough decision. It looked as if it was out, actually, Pete, from here.
And mind
looking
you,
right along that line.
Mind you, I'm not criticising the boundary umpire, the pace that went from the back line to the forward line. And maybe you need 4 boundary umpires, Bernie.
Yes, they moved it quickly, didn't they? It was an excellent play by the Sydney Swans.
Well, forward pocket, Cloak doing battle against McKenzie. Danger here because Greg Williams dodging and weaving. Brilliant play as he gets it to McKenzie. And McKenzie kicks it behind, but we saw the skill of Greg Williams on that occasion. 3-3 plays 1-6.
Well, the ground flint hard. It's a small ground and it should produce high-scoring football, and these teams have done that before, but not so much today. It's quite low-scoring at the moment. Lambert lost control of it. Goodwin gets the hand pass away. He just put it out blindly, but it bounced all right for Knights. Knights forward of centre wing. The kick towards the pocket. Turner tries to hook the ball back in play. Right, did that go out on the full? No, it'll be a throw-in.
Needed to be a centering kick there from Matty Knights. He had time to steady. Brendan Gale was covered by 2 Sydney Swans defenders, and yet he still kicked to that pocket.
Kerr and Lawson, the interchangers, warming up for the Swans. Trying to impress the coaches up in the ladies' stand. Palm down beautifully. Comes to Mitchell. Murphy. David Murphy, state rep. Chips into the play. Back to Williams. This is good running here by Kelly. Centering kick for Kappa. He works to the front. A good mark.
Well, it was an excellent mark in the end by Warwick. And he got in front of Jeff Hogg, and maybe Hogg was worried by the sun. It didn't seem to worry Kappa all that much. Hogg didn't seem to judge it all that well. Maybe worried more about stopping Kappa's run than actually going for the ball.
These are the ones he has to kick, aren't they?
Man on the mark, 40 metres from goal.
That's a shocking kick off the
hasn't
boot.
made the distance. It's come off the hands, been kept in play by the Swans. Love, clever play.
And wasn't that good work there by Jim West in the points there, where he kept it from going through, knocked it back to Love, and Love's got it around his body to Murphy.
I wonder who's going to get the 3 votes today, Drew.
Oh, West is in front at the moment. Now Murphy's closer than Carroll was, than Kappa was, but really Warwick Kappa should have made the distance with that kick from about 45 metres. David Murphy. Looks pretty good.
Well, they're doing well, the Swans, and really I think you can kick the ball further down to the left-hand end. So, there's Williams again. To Dale Lewis, beautiful long kick. Kappa front position. West went back with a fly to the ball. Waitman was there. Now Kappa. And eventually it's forced over the line by Hogg, deep in that forward pocket with 3.5 minutes of play left in this first quarter. But a very good opening this by the Swans. Good to see Kappa getting in front. And you see that heavily bandaged arm of David Cloak. He gets it down to Waitman. Waitman to Mrakov. Johnny Mrakov has been in good form in the reserves for Richmond. Here's Lambert. Tony Free. Good defensive play this. They really controlled that well. Matthew Knights. Bannock. Des Ryan. Now they shouldn't waste this because that was great football by Richmond. To the full forward line. Cordy chipped in. Socked away by Powell. Bays was in front. Kelly went in after it. Naish. Clever hand pass. Des Ryan and Stephen Wright. Taken by Ryan. Tim Powell. Steadies. Kicks a high one. In towards the square. Tui pushing and shoving, and eventually it rolls, well, floats over the line for a behind to Richmond. 1-7 to 4-3. And Tim Powell's kicked how many behinds, Bernie?
3 behinds, Tim
3.
Powell.
Should have kicked that one too. Here's Kelly up towards centre wing. Doolan leads and takes a mark. His opponent Bannock. Couple of youngsters there. Should be around for a long time to come. Kick by Doolan inside the 50. Kappa seen out of the action pretty easily. Comes to Hogg. Hand pass over the top looking for Waitman. Murphy's there. Now his friend Mitchell. Spins once, spins twice. Back it comes to Lewis. Clever kick to Williams.
I'll have to really start manning up on Greg Williams. It's Craig Lambert, the man with the job.
Carroll. Well done by Bauer. Look at Carroll's certainty. Now it comes back to Carroll. Having some trouble picking it up and losing ground with it. Pickering takes him all the way to the line. And now the Swans have lost it and the ball's out of play.
Well, you really, I don't think you can afford to play the Swans and not tag Williams. What do you think, Bernie?
Well, maybe if you tag him, he gets 30 positions. If you don't, he gets about 35, 40. So he still gets plenty of the ball. It doesn't matter that much. But
that's true. But I know when they played Hawthorn up here, they didn't tag him in the first half, and he took over the game. The second half, they tagged him with Ben Allen, and it really reduced his effectiveness on the game. The ball fisted away to centre wing. And Stephen Wright receiving from Dennis Carroll. He kicks it across the ground. Jason Love is there and Dale Lewis. Now Lewis has time to steady. The chip pass to Kappa. Up he goes. Good mark. Oh, gee, looks a much better player when he leads, doesn't he?
Yes, much better, Pete. A lot of the times he just waits at the back and tries to go for those spectacular marks. A good kick by Lewis. He had plenty of time to steady. No pressure being applied by Richmond. And Warwick Kappa, under a fair bit of pressure himself, took that strong mark out in front.
Well, these are the ones, as I said earlier, he must kick these. Well, that's a better looking one, but did it sneak in for a goal? Let's look at the goal umpire. Yes, good kick. So Warwick Kappa has kicked his second, and Sydney kicked clear. 5-3, Richmond 1-7.
Actually, he hasn't had a bad season, Kappa, statistically, when you consider he's kicked, he's averaged 3 goals a match, had 36 coming into today's game, playing only in 12 matches. You see that kick, it looked as if it was drifting slightly to the left and just snuck in by the barest of margins. And Warwick Kappa, at least he's leading and providing a target.
20-point lead now to the Sydney Swans. Cloak wins in the middle, but it comes to Mitchell. Tries to spin out of trouble. He's lost it. Grabbed by Knights. The kick by Knights on the run to full forward. Tui. Across to Higgins. And the Swans looked a bit ordinary there for a moment, but got out of it. And a good kick by Higgins and the mark taken by Lewis. Over the top. Oh, they had to wait. In came Waitman. Just as he was streaming towards goal, the siren signals